na wadau wa elimu hususan kuweza kuzungumzia swala zima la kuweza kufadhili masomo ya vyuo vikuu, na tuweze kusikia anachozungumza katika kikao hicho na wadau wao tofauti.
Students, even as your situation worsened, right? And I made a comment that no other institution does that. Actually, nobody else does that, not even at the level of our homes. Yeah, you don't continue incurring expenditure that you actually don't have. You don't continue using resources that are not available to you. So that's one of the things that we'll have to address. How do we ensure that the resources that we have are able to train the human resources that you're trying to train in your universities? What do we do to rationalize? And I think a better case would be made if in the recommendations that were made, you aligned your right to the demands of the market. Because there's a total mismatch. I had told somebody 50%, Professor Dwal, and he said, no, it's actually more than 50%. More than 50% of the capacity that you're producing, right, is not actually able to access jobs on our market. So we're teaching programs that are not useful for the economy of our country, because as you know, our economy has been moving very, very fast. But also, we're entering a fourth industrial revolution period, yeah? And there are specific programs that we need to be able to participate and to exploit the opportunities that will be present in this fourth industrial revolution. Somebody said before that we were left behind by the first one, the second one, and the third one, and that we must make sure that we are actually fully prepared for this fourth industrial revolution. So the alignment of your programs to the demands of the market, I think that also is key, right? And I think it's as key as rationalizing and just making sure that you have the number of students that you can afford to have in your institutions. Well, the good news is that there are more students sitting for their O-levels this year, than last year by a few thousand, right? And the expectation that we have is that a majority of them will do well enough to join your institutions. And that we won't face some of the challenges that we faced in the last 2 years where the numbers kept dwindling. So that's the expectation that we have. Because we need our universities. My argument has always been that you do not close what you've already established. You make sure that you don't establish anymore until you're at a place, right, where there is a demand, and a very critical demand, that you establish new institutions. And so my expectation is that although I will have to leave very shortly, that you will help me make that case by giving me very, very concrete recommendations, while at the same time informing, wherever I'll be making this case, both in Parliament and with the executive, that we, in turn, in the education sector, will be doing the following, right? Because we also understand that we have certain responsibilities and that we have not always done what's best for our institutions. And so this is what we will be doing. In turn, we hope that the crunch that we're feeling will be relieved by support from the Treasury. So it's going to be a two-way thing. We'll make a case for your resources. You also need to make us believe that going forward, the situation in the university is going to be much better, because you take some of the responsibilities of aligning programs, of not admitting more than you can service, much more seriously. And so I also said this morning that we would have a longer meeting, because we need to exchange these views. We need to talk to each other. I need to hear from you, right? Because I know, I have the general overview, but I don't have the details of what's happening in each of you.
Na bila shaka ni kikao ambacho bado kinaendelea, tutakuwa tunakueleza mengi ambayo yanazungumziwa pale ndani.